What's up, guys? All right, let's talk about the different ways in which I see the lead arm dominant swing. The when I see hitters who get more of the lead side pathway working in their swing, what sorts of looks do I see? And I see three main kinds of looks. Um, if you guys aren't familiar with my stuff, I think that swing instruction is way off track and has been for many decades. I think that there's one key thing that we need to focus on, and that's feeling more of the lead side tension in the swing. That is 99% of swing mechanics. And who cares about the other 1%? But yet swing mechanics out there, they're not only focused on the 1%, I don't even think they're on any percent most of the time. They're not talking about things that even matter in the swing. It's almost like if you want to see what doesn't matter in the swing, take a look at the history of what's been taught in baseball swing instruction, because they pretty much mention things that either don't matter or they try to lead you in directions that are the exact opposite of what you want to do. I hate to be so negative, but this is the way I see it. And I've been, there are a lot of guys on Instagram who seem to moonlight as swing experts. I don't think you've dedicated your life to the swing. And most of you guys out there who are acting like you are experts in the swing have other jobs. I really haven't had other jobs. This has been my life's focus. So take it for what it is. You may disagree with me, but it's at least one man's opinion who has dedicated pretty much his entire life to studying a 1-second movement that we call the baseball swing. The only thing that matters is really most of you guys actually it's important that you don't follow other advice and that you do just this one important thing. Following advice, trying to achieve positions that don't matter, trying to achieve positions in general is actually not a good idea. Chasing positions is what I call it. And it leads to more robotic swings. If you're trying to do a movement and through that movement you're trying to force a certain position, really no positions should be forced. It should be a natural flow, a natural result of feeling the correct thing internally. And that correct thing that you need to feel is more of the lead side pathway working. That means as you start into the forward swing, feel that energy wave that moves up your body. Go more through the lead side, especially the upper back and shoulder. Go more through that lead side as you're starting forward. You can feel this energy wave move as you do this. The best way to do that is just swing with just your lead arm. And I sell a training bat called the Lead Arm Training Bat. It's a small bat. You don't have to buy my bat. You can use any small bat. But I do recommend you get a small bat because a big bat is just too big. You can't really simulate the actual rhythm and cadence that you would have in a regular swing. And we want to simulate that so your body gets used to that. But heck, even if you have just a large bat, just go ahead and swing that. You just have to start slower. But as you go into the forward swing, just feel more of the lead side pathway. I mean, I know that is too simple for a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys have been trained in swing instruction that it needs to be hard, that you need to be always, the swing is always something you're going to have to work on. And it's just, that's what professionals do. No. Swing mechanics is a unique skill within hitting where you actually should put it down and put it on autopilot at some point and pretty much not spend any more time on it. Here's a swing coach telling you that someday I'm hoping you don't need me. Okay? How many of the swing coaches down the street are going to say that to you? Well, that's just the truth. I mean, do you think Mickey Mantle, do you think Babe Ruth, Ken Griffey Jr. ever worked on swing mechanics? Maybe they, thought about it for seconds here and there, but they never made any major changes to their swing. And in fact, if we look at the history of swing changes in swing instruction, most of them have not been successful. Anyways, that's kind of a different point, but what I'm saying is to be a great hitter and to have a great swing, doesn't equal you're going to have to work hard all the time on your swing. I think that all you have to do is feel more of this lead side pathway working, and then you can, once you do that, and it may take a week, it may take a day, it may take a year, it may take a few months. Keep working at it, keep trying to feel it. Make sure that the barrel is flattening behind you as you feel this stretch and tension in the lead side. And it's got to flatten out more. I mean, that's just what happens when you feel more of this stretch and tension in the lead side. And take swings like that. Train your body to create the power source coming more from your lead side. Too many guys, and this is the main problem in the swing, they're just overusing the backside and flipping through contact. So there are 3 different looks that I tend to see when people are more lead arm dominant, lead side dominant, maybe you could say. And there's nothing wrong with any of them. I mean, if you want to play around with these, then fine, but I would prefer that you just, I sound like a broken record, feel more of the lead side pathway working, and whatever positions you want to hit, whatever movement you like for hitting the ball as hard as you can, feeling more of this lead side pathway, that's the right move for you. And you might be one of these 3, you might be a hybrid of 1 or 2 of them or all 3 of them in some way. That's fine. Let's not get bogged down. We've been bogged down for too long in swing instruction, focusing on stuff that just really doesn't matter. So let's stop that. Let's stop chasing positions, and let's just get to the meat of what swing mechanics is about. And then what I want you guys to do is get your swing down, put it on autopilot, and stop thinking about it and enjoy the game. That's what I want you guys to do. So the first look that I see is what I tend to call casting the bat out. So here we're looking at Albert Bell. Look at how casted out the bat is. Most people have the bat almost touching their helmet at this point, or their back shoulder. Like closer to the helmet and back shoulder at this point. He is well casted out in the hands. And then he just kind of turns into contact. This is his way of doing more of a lead side pathway. Look at how connected he is at contact. This is a great position here at contact. Again, not something that conventional instruction would teach. I was going to say that this can be a very good quick fix for guys who are just unable to stop flipping through contact, but I actually would always prefer to go feeling more lead arm pathway first. But if you just want to, like, for whatever reason, if somebody was just like, I need I need something to bring into the next game, my hitting is terrible, and there's someone who flips a lot, just cast the bat out and keep it there. Cast it out, loosen the grip, but keep it casted out, and use every other muscle to fling the barrel into the zone. And you're going to end up with a movement a lot like Bell's. You're going to end up with a lot more front humerus compression just naturally. And you're going to get a lot of more of the positions that tend to go along with more lead arm dominance. But still, I think the best way to approach it is always pick up a small bat with just your lead arm and take swings. And do this for as long as it takes for it to click for you, and incorporate that more of that movement into your game swing. Robinson also did the same kind of thing. Jackie Robinson. Bell, by the way, is a pound-for-pound great. I'm not looking at the rankings, but I think Bell is a top 20 pound-for-pounder. Jackie Robinson, I think, is somewhere around 700, if I'm not mistaken. But, still, pound-for-pound great here. Also hit for a high average, which the pound-for-pound score does not really take into account. But look at this positioning that he has here. Most of you guys feel in this positioning here, it would feel so foreign. And that's because what felt right to him was a completely different power source than most people. Most people pick up a bat and they're so back arm dominant, and the flip is where they feel primarily the power coming from for the rest of their lives. And then they quit baseball early because of this. But if you're achieving a position that Robinson is in here, I mean, the power source cannot be in the flip. He's leading with his body. He's getting a lot of front humerus compression, and he's loose in the wrist, but there's there's nothing kind of tugging at the wrist all that much at all here. Whereas most people would feel the hands firing out, a lot of tension back on the wrist, and then they're going to push against that tension to release, and then they're also going to move backwards as they go through contact to make room and get the bat squared up. So completely unique kind of movement. Look at that. Just getting the body into the hit. Again, something that today's hitters don't do enough of. Look at that back leg coming off the ground. He's moving his torso into contact. You can be so powerful with this move. Who else did it? Mel Ott, another pound-for-pound great. I think he's in the top 10. I'm sorry, I don't have the list with me. Maybe you guys can comment where he is. But look at, he was flatter than Robinson and Bell. You can see, but still cast it out. See where the bat is? And just kind of goes into the forward swing with that casted out bat. And a lot of front humerus compression, as you can see right here. And one of the all-time pound-for-pound greats, Mel Ott. One of the shorter guys. I think he was 170 and hit over 500 home runs, which is leaning towards the ridiculous sort of stat. When you're only 170 and you're in the best home run hitters of all time, that's kind of like, that's Hank Aaron kind of territory there. Now, the second structure that I want to point out is one I think of Mike Schmidt. Again, a top 10, I believe, pound for pounder. Maybe top 20. Now, Schmidt's action is one where he is still feeling more of the lead side pathway, but never gets a whole lot of that front humerus compression, never gets a real straight lead arm. This is fine. A lot of you guys, again, are chasing positions, and I don't want you to do that. Just figure out what your body wants to do when you feel more of this lead side pathway. If you don't have the flexibility to get a lot of front humerus compression, you don't need it. Mike Schmidt was absolutely lead arm dominant. He slotted the barrel. I saw him hit personally. I actually filmed his golf swing in person, and then I filmed his baseball swing behind him in person. And this was all within a month. I was in Kiowa, living in Kiowa, and he went there for a celebrity golf tournament, and then I went home to Philadelphia, and he happened to play in this home run derby. I mean, so within a month, I had his golf swing and his baseball swing from behind. My computer got stolen in about 2005, so I lost all that stuff. But I watched him on the range on the golf course, and he would flatten the club beautifully. He absolutely was lead arm dominant. You can see even in these images that he flattened the barrel quite a bit. Schmidt was actually one of these guys who flattened the barrel so much that at this point in the swing it would oftentimes be below his hands, which is okay. Ted Williams did that. We've seen pictures of Oscar Gamble or Ben Ogilvy doing that. It's totally fine. So this second style is characterized by not getting a whole lot of front humerus compression throughout the swing. But he's still feeling, again, the lead side pathway working more and the back side pathway working a little less than most of you guys feel. There you can see the back arm and bat are in alignment. He finished real low. He had this kind of low finish. That's just the way he liked to do it. He also didn't finish all the way around him all the time. Trying to think who else did that, but I couldn't think of it. Here's another guy who doesn't get a whole lot of front humerus compression, doesn't get a whole lot of straightness in the lead arm, but you can see dropping the barrel nicely, real flat, and then achieving a nice connected position at contact. He's oftentimes very connected at contact, Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts is also a top 100 for sure pound-for-pound hitter. I don't know where he is exactly on the list. There you can see the back arm and bat in alignment. That tells me that he is not getting a lot of his power through the flip action. And then Holiday is another guy I think of. Jackson Holiday, I guess, would be a lefty who has kind of this second style of not getting a whole lot of front humerus compression, but still being very lead arm dominant. And you can always tell by consistently getting into nice connected positions at contact. Don't chase these connected positions. It's just going to happen if you feel more of the lead side pathway. So let's move on to, this is the style that I guess you could say I favor it just slightly because it just flows a little bit better, and the very best pound for pound hitters tend to incorporate this one. But we're talking splitting hairs here, so why focus on it? It doesn't matter. Don't chase positions. But if you want to just experiment with this particular style, this style is one where they flow into front arm humerus compression while they also get the lag in the bat. So they get a nice angle as they're getting more front humerus compression. You can see here, Machado. I don't know where he is on the pound for pound list. But there you can see, look how flat the barrel is. Beautiful positioning there. I mean, pretty much picture perfect positioning here. Front humerus compression, and then he gets that barrel kind of snapping back here. Beautiful action. I don't care for his shenanigans as he rounds the bases, but God, he's got probably, might be the best swing going in baseball today now that Goldschmidt has gone to driveline and probably screwed up his action a little bit. But Machado's action is beautiful. Here, Reggie Jackson doesn't seem to have a whole lot of weight shift, but gets a lot of that front humerus compression while the barrel is snapping back behind him. This is what I'm talking about with, the guys who tend to hit the ball the farthest throughout history do tend to have more of this kind of action. You see Ruth had it in spades, gets a lot of that lead humerus compression, and look at the bat. It's snapping back behind him and then just whips into the zone. And then, of course, the great Ken Griffey Jr. had this action too. Look at the lead humerus compression, and the barrel's kind of snapping back behind him. And then extremely connected. Look at how connected his lead arm is at contact. I mean, talk about lead arm pathway working in a swing. This guy had it in spades. So there you go, guys. The three different styles that I tend to see. Let me know your thoughts. Again, don't chase positions. Just feel more of that lead side pathway. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.